It's election time. It's election. Yo, if y'all didn't go vote, hey, do not be surprised by the outcome, okay? If you did not go vote, make sure you're out there voting. I know y'all online with me right now, but look, if you haven't voted, it's okay. I will understand if you have to end this live, hop out this live right now. But I wanted to make sure I hop on because, like every other Tuesday, it's Financial Tuesday. And y'all know we lit. Y'all know we lit Tuesday. Getting it popping right now. Okay, ay, ay, ay. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay. All right. And we get on Instagram. I really gotta find like a quicker way to do this, y'all. Cause that would save so much time. Okay. There we go. Ooh, okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Happy Financial Tuesday. Yay! Okay. So, y'all, today I'll be talking about the effects of the elections and how it can like affect us financially, right? Because a lot of the times we don't really see how these elections are going to affect us financially until like the person's in office, and we're like, oh, okay, tax laws just shifted, things like that. Whoa! So I won't be going over everyone's platforms because next week we'll basically, yeah, I've been looking at a computer all day, so excuse me if I put my blue light blockers back on because my eyes are hurting. So yeah. So y'all, I won't be going over everyone's like Trump's platform, Biden's platform, because after today we'll know who's gonna be in office, right? Well, hopefully, if there's not like some sort of delay or anything. But I will go over like kind of generally how this can affect us, how the elections can affect us financially. What are some things that it can do to the stock market? All that good stuff. Because we should be aware of those things. It's definitely important, and it definitely weighs on how our decisions that we can make are that we're making in the future, and how these things are affecting our future, right? So yeah. So for starters, I do want to say again that if you haven't voted already, it's not too late. You do have some precincts that are still open, but you do want to hurry up and get out there before they go ahead and close them down. Let me see what time they close real quick. Yeah. Um, Look, I don't know. But I just know at 7 o'clock, everybody's going to be tuned in. So this live is going to be relatively short, so I can make sure I'm tuned in to hear the results of the election. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my notes over here. All right. And we're going to get popping about how everything could really like affect us, because we all know well, I don't know if we all know. I'm going to speak generically. So with Biden's campaign run, he said he wants to increase taxes for everyone over the 400,000 bracket. So meaning that he want to decrease taxes for the lower income Americans making less than $400,000 a year, and then increase it for those higher income earners, which will kind of shift that like how taxes are now, where when Trump came into office, it did do a tax cut for everyone, but the very lower class, so the lowest bracket. So when that happened, it's like, hey, uh, it falls back in that middle class bracket because you have such a huge tax cut for the higher income earners, right? And then right now we have it where Social Security, it's being waived until, or deferred until next year. So all those payments are going to become due in that first quarter next year. So if you are one of those employees that are getting your Social Security payments deferred, you know, it's going to take that hit come next year. If y'all have questions as I'm speaking, of course, feel free to chime in. Let me know that you're listening out there. Um, Let me know that you're with me. So I'm drinking some body posh from Teapot Naturals, and it's delicious. Um, right now, so I do want to touch on the Heroes Act, which was essentially the supposed to be like the second stimulus, right? That was supposed to go ahead and help the American people again. So that was 3.5 trillion dollars, and it was like, hey, are we gonna pass this or not? A lot of people are still waiting to see, like, hey, is this something that the American people are going to receive? So we don't actually have a final decision on it. We'll see after the elections. So that's one of the things that that's kind of up in the air as far as what would happen post this election period, right? So usually during election periods, the U.S. dollar is it usually strengthens the U.S. dollar. And right now, the U.S. dollar is like did take a major hit, as a lot of you may be aware, because of the economic um, time that we're in right now. Like, hey, a lot, like, because of this whole COVID period, this pandemic period, it really weakened the U.S. dollar, and especially coming from a high growth period where we were in recently. And it was like, hey, are we gonna go through a huge economic downturn? Are we gonna go through a recession because we were in a high growth period? And it's like, what's next for us? But usually during election periods, it helps strengthens the U.S. dollar, which is great for those forex traders, those stock traders. So people in the trading realm are usually benefit heavily from the growth in the U.S. dollar during election periods. So that's one of the big things on election day. So election day trading, like till today, the markets are like very volatile. There's a lot of money being made on the markets right now. You have the New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq, the S&P. So really, these indexes are moving right now. Even the global indexes are moving because of election day trading. This is something that dates back hundreds of years. It's something that just always happens. So if it's something that you aren't aware of, hey, maybe it's something that you want to look into in the future, or even you're not too late. It's still election day trading right now. So a lot of people are making money off of this holiday in a sense of election day trading. Um, the other is um, that is really one of the biggest ones. The other is also, I kind of want to get into a little bit of policy. So we do have, as far as because I do want to touch on the Biden policy specifically, because that is the biggest policy that's going to change how um, tax codes are going to be brought out there. And I know I'm talking a lot about taxes just because I'm an accountant and I deal a lot with taxes, especially moving into tax season. Of course, I'm studying these things. So really seeing, hey, what does that look like for the American people in the next year, in the next few years? Uh, do the Are the lower and class individuals, Americans, going to have to fit the bill in a sense, so that the higher bracket Americans get to still receive that tax break? And it's not all bad. I do want to touch on that because, like, say business owners, they are providing jobs and opportunities for individuals. Now, I do want to say that, with that being said, it helps stimulate the economy in a way where it provides more jobs, because when the institutions, when these corporations receive these cuts, yes, it's like the double-edged sword in a sense where yes, they're getting a lot more money in their pockets, they're getting more wealthy, more rich and everything, but on the other side they're also providing a lot more jobs, and on the consumer end you're paying less. So when taxes and things go up for these institutions, it kind of sometimes a lot of the times it hurts the consumer in a way because that falls back on the consumer. So like and I told like even my business owners in our strategy sessions, hey, if you have to increase, if you're getting a merchandise from China and you're no longer able to get it from China, or now it's delayed, or shipping prices have increased, you have to charge the customer um for that inconvenience, or uh for that increase in price. Because what would happen is if you still continue to keep your prices the same, you're going to end up out of business, or your profit margin is going to go down, and then you're not able to scale your business to the next level. So really making sure that, hey, you change your pricing because shipping went up, you change your pricing because the cost of manufacturing went up because of COVID or whatever the case may be. Say so, and I say this to say that when you have those increases, those hits to corporations like that, it falls back on the consumer again. The other thing that is pretty cool is the minimum wage is looking to increase to the federal minimum wage is looking to increase to $10 an hour. So instead of that eight, I believe it's like 8.46 right now, or 8.56. So really, that what that looks like for a lot of people is, hey, I'm making more money. But what it also looks like is a roll of bread is $3 now, $6 or $5. So really, at the end of the day, it still falls back on that consumer, because as a business owner, in order to stay in business, or in order to scale your business, you have to compensate for those things. So I do want to make sure I mention that and how that affects us. So yes, the minimum wage, rate is looking to increase. Taxes are possibly going down or up, however, depending on who's elected. But ultimately, that decision affects the consumer, the average consumer, consumers in general, how banks are going to do lending. Um, and now it's like, hey, as an individual, what does that look like for me planning out my future? Right? What it looks like is, hey, strategically, I need to make sure that I have things in place depending regardless of who's elected, right? Because I need to make sure that regardless of who's elected, like me, I'm okay financially, my family's okay financially, whatever, my business is okay. Like if taxes go up for businesses, like do I, oh my gosh, like a lot of business owners, they don't know when to increase their prices, or they're afraid to increase their prices, or they're reluctant to, because ultimately as a business owner you're like, yes, I want to make sure that I provide this service, I heal people, I help people, I serve my people. Yes. But you also want to make sure that you're in business. So really, like seeing how that's going to affect um, the world is going to be quite interesting to really see that. Um, Let me go back to my notes. I want to make sure I'm hitting on some key things. I want to actually touch on how how the market is doing today. So, we have. So we have the Dow jumping uh over 500 points in one day, like because of this election day rally. Like y'all, like the market is hot right now. This election day trading is hot right now. Um, Yeah, S&P's blowing through the roof. Definitely. Apple stock is doing really well. Look at them. Okay, doing their thing. But yeah, these companies they move. They're like, hey, we got to be out here trading. So it's really exciting to see the changes as far as like how the market changes during times like this. It's pretty interesting. Um, okay. Yeah, I know let me let y'all know if you have any questions as well. I- I've been so quiet lately. Um, so I did see the numbers from the previous election versus this election. And I do want to say like the turnout has been like ridiculous. Like it's oh my gosh, what is the number? I'm about to find out right now because it's pretty wild. Um, oh wow, that's interesting. But yeah, I'm looking at the market right now. I know I'm doing it on the live, but excuse me while I take a little detour while I look at these market changes. But it's very interesting to see, and I really recently just got into this and really seeing how the market fluctuates during election periods. Well, during this election period, because it's something that's fairly new to me, trading in general. So really being able to be a part of that this time around and seeing it, it's really interesting. So if y'all want to look into it, I definitely say connect with an avid like stock or forex trader to kind of see how everything's like flowing. Definitely really interesting. Um, but the one of the biggest things which I already touched on as far as what how the elections can affect you is really the change in the dollar, the US dollar, which the US dollar will inflate. Um, you know, through time, that's what it's tend to do, and that's most likely what it will do during election periods. So that is good. Um, and then also like when it comes to inflation, things like that, that takes into effect. But also, what I spoke about as far as how taxes are going to affect us as well. So, some of my tips that I will give, financial tips that I will give as far as future planning and things like that, like every live that I mentioned in the past, making sure that we are budgeting we have a budget, of course, so that we know what our money is doing, and then that we're putting our money in the right instruments. Right now, yes, if I'm not saying go out and start trading today because it's a trading day. It's election trading day. I'm by far saying that. But I am saying it's, making sure that you're consulting somebody to make sure that your money's working for you ultimately so that we getting out of the mindset of working for our money constantly and trading time for money and taking more advantage of the time that we have, and being able to live the life that we want to live. Really taking that holistic approach to managing our finances so that we're able to live that life that we want to live. But we do know that the US dollar did fall this year and it was looking pretty wild, but this election period should help increase the US dollar, which should be great for the US economy because it was looking a little, Um, but yes, y'all, let me see what else I could leave y'all with. Any questions? Any questions at all? Let me know. Let me know. I know everybody's out there watching the elections and holding on to their seats. Hopefully you are, but I do want to make sure that we're, being consistent as far as Financially Lit Tuesday go. And then we do have Grand Rep Financial do have an event coming this month. In a couple of weeks, we'll be announcing our Wealth Up event for this month, for the month of November. So stay tuned for the Wealth Up event for November, which will be another virtual workshop. The virtual workshop will have to do with taxation, so tax loopholes for your contractors and business owners. So anybody that you do know that's in the business contractor realm, we're going to be talking about tax loopholes in the coming weeks. So that flyer and ability to sign up for that workshop will be available this week. Actually, we're releasing it this week. So really make sure that you're ready to get your ticket. This one would just be $30 to go ahead and join in, because I did want to make this one a little cheaper so that I'm reaching most people possible, because we're getting into the tax time. So I do want to make sure everybody's aware. Even though you should be going to Grand Rep Financial to do your taxes, if you choose not to, oh my gosh. If you choose not to go to Grand Rap, just make sure that you're aware of some tax loopholes that you can take advantage of, right? So this year, I'm so excited. We have six new agents, five new agents, and a total of eight agents for the new tax season. Oh my gosh, it is going to be awesome. We're going to be reaching out to so many different people for the new tax season. We're currently like ramping up, training, all that good stuff for the tax season. I'm super excited. So this month's Wealth Up event will be dedicated to taxes, loopholes, what you can do. And we're all about Grand Financial. We're all about doing everything to the book. So making sure that, hey, we're not getting into no funny business. No, oh, do this, wink, wink. No, we're gonna make sure we do it by the book legally. We don't want any IRS drama coming back in the future. So making sure that we properly educate the community on tax advantages. So y'all, I know I talked a little bit about the elections. I didn't want to get into platforms too much today. So I just gave like two big pointers as far as how it can affect the elections can affect our future decisions, our financial decisions. But ultimately, look out for Grand Bab's Wealth Up event for November. Should be awesome. And then we'll be in December, we'll be in person at One Bridge. So that will be a big one as well. But yeah, I know lately I've been doing the 30-minute Wealth Up, Financially Lit Tuesday events, lives. Um, just because y'all need to come up with more questions. Ask me more questions. Let me know what topics you want to hear. I'll definitely look into the topics that you all would want me to expound upon. So if you do have anything that you're like, oh my gosh, like I wish one thing would talk about this, definitely let me know. Or if you had somebody that like, oh shoot, I wish Wadling would bring this person on Financial Lit Tuesday, let me know as well. So I know everybody's getting ready for this elections. Again, I don't want to keep y'all too long today, but next week we'll definitely get into some election talk, more specific to whichever person wins tonight. So I'll be breaking down their platform and kind of talking about how it's going to actually, really affect us, can affect us in the future. But I kind of just want to give a little taster because it's trading day today, election day trading. Um, but yeah, let me know if y'all got any questions before I hop off on this Body Lit Tuesday. I got my Body Posh from T Posh. Hey Matt. Oh my gosh. I just saw your hey. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing today? So this tea right here. Keep doing you, Wadleen. Some people don't know what they don't know. Absolutely. You're so right. If you have a house, what is the best way to maximize your equity? Um, oh my God, speaking of equity, so I got a letter today. Mind you, I've been in my house for about a year now, and I got a letter, and it was like, yo, the equity in your house is like big, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's only been a year. You're serious? But anyways, how can you maximize the equity in your house if you have a house? Um, I would think of like a seasoned realtor would know a lot more than myself because I'm doing a lot of trial and error as I go with this home ownership life. But what I say, how you increase your equity is like home improvements. So really, like your home improvements will help increase the value of your home. But also making sure that you're buying your home in a place that's not stagnant. Because a lot of people, you don't even pay attention. You end up buying a home in a stagnant community, and then you're waiting years for an equity increase, or like it's like moving very little. So really making sure that you're buying your house in the right community, right place that's not stagnant. And then you're making those home improvements, those small improvements. Um, like I upgraded my flooring, which didn't really cost me that much. I got like a handy guy that kind of just did the thing for me. Yeah, he did a lot for me. He updated the cabinets and everything. So, things like that increase the value of your home. And then when they come do the appraisal, which they do it annually, well, my insurance company does it anyway. Um, so they come and look at the house and see, and I'm like, hey, what is my house worth right now? I ask questions to kind of see what's going on. And then also on the mortgage company side, they let you know what your house is valued at. So the insurance company does the inspection, the mortgage company does the kind of value assessment as far as what your house is worth. And then when you get in the point of you're doing like a refinance or anything, of course they reappraise it, all that good stuff. But like I said, I'm learning as I go because they do not prepare you enough for this homeownership life. Like they're like, yeah, buy a house. It'll be awesome. It'll be great. And then you buy a house and things start breaking. You realize you have something called an escrow. Like, you realize that you have to knock down your own wasp nest. Like there's not a maintenance man coming to knock it down for you. Like this stuff is serious. This is not okay. Um, but yeah, like definitely making sure that you're prepared to buy a house, like because I had to fix my garage door too. Like you do have like little things that you have to repair when you're home. When you own a home, it all falls on you. And then making sure that your home is not a huge liability to yourself as well. That you're bringing some kind of assets to your home. What about a house in a house built in a division? What about a house built in a subdivision and the house is only 5 years old? Not me, a friend. So, um, houses like that, it depends where the subdivision is built, but usually they're in upcoming communities. Like, usually when they build the subdivisions, they're like in areas that they're developing on, like around the area. So usually they do pretty well. Um, so if it's 5 years old, he should be able to like sell the property for a lot more than he bought it from, unless they're still building in that area. Now, if they're still building in that area, he probably want to hold on to the house a little longer, um, because the equity built on it is probably not that high. Because but he's gonna want to hold on a few more years, maybe like 10 years, do a little buy and hold type of situation for a little longer, and then look into selling later if that's what he's looking to do, with, or do an equity loan. I don't know what he's trying to do with the equity, or if he's trying to get the mortgage insurance premium off, all that good stuff. I don't know, depending on what he's trying to do. Too late. Um, Yeah, y'all. Come out to the Wealth Up workshop. Well, you don't have to come out. You could literally do it in your pajamas butt booted naked, all that on the live. Well, you won't be like we won't be able to see you, so that's completely fine. You could do it in your drawers. You could come on and learn some awesome information about some tax loopholes. Because y'all, I want y'all to wealth up for real. And why are you gonna overpay in taxes? Pourquoi? So, yeah, y'all. That's it, Tuesday. Happy elections. We'll see the outcome. If you didn't vote for Ashante Green and because Duval Water, baby, Duval, and I'm like, I planted my tree in the ground and my tree died. So yes, Duval needs to go green, like Ashante Green all day because I don't understand what happened in my backyard. I'm so glad I had my raised garden bed because I was like, oh, I want to plant this tree in the ground. Didn't even go like a week and it was dead. So the Duval soil is not it. Uh, but yeah, y'all, that's it. I know I'm like running your running y'all time up. I'm so excited to see what is going to happen. Yeah, it's pretty nerve wracking, y'all. But that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. Make sure I ain't got any questions lingering out here. Nope. That's it. I'll see y'all next Tuesday. We're gonna be talking specifics next Tuesday for real. Because depending on who win tonight, IDK. But yeah. Y'all have a great evening. Have a lit Tuesday. And let's wealth up. Yeah.